In this video, we are going to write a script for our player. For doing that, we need to go to our script folder, then create a new script, C# script, and I will call it player. Then I will attach the script to our player. Now we are going to open it. After opening it, I will delete the start and update. We can add them later. So for now, I don't need them. Here I will add the public float move speed for the speed of our player. And the next variable will be public float jump force. And what is actually this public and float? As you see, when I save the script, I'm going back to our game and click on our player, you will see the move speed and jump force here. So which we can change them here. If we make them, for example, this one to private and save it, and then going back to the game again and click on our player, we cannot see it anymore. That is the difference between the public. The public gives us this ability to see it in the inspector, and private doesn't allow us to see it in the inspector. But how we can see it? When we click on this 3 point here and change it instead of normal to debug, we can see it. Here there is a jump force, but we don't have any access to it. So it doesn't allow us to change the value of it. Now let's go back to normal again, back to our jump force. And that is the difference between the public and private. So now I will change the private float back to public. So the next thing that I'm going to explain is, let me delete, I hope you read this, is the float. You can also, instead of float, writing int. And what is the difference between float and int? I'll write it here. The difference between them: in int, we cannot have a decimal point. That means here, if I is equal to 2, we don't get any error. But if I put a decimal point like 1 here, then it gives us error, because we are not allowed to use int and decimal for that for our number. That's why. But for our float, we can also use the 4 without getting any error. Or when I change it to 4.2, we will get error. But when we put the number f here, we will not get any error. That's why when we use the float number, we use f at the end to show it that it's a float number. So now let me delete this. Here in the top, I will use the header. Inside the parentheses, I will write the movement. What actually this do? Let's save it and see it in the game. So when I click on our player, you see there is a bold word, and it make us to see that what is the movement variable. Here is the move speed and jump. But when we remove this one, we will not have any header. That's why I use here to make it a little bit more clear. So now I will delete this number because I don't want the fixed number for them. So now let's make a new header for our camera. Then the variable for that, public float, and look sensitivity. So look sensitivity. And what is that actually? It shows us how fast does the camera rotate around. So now we make another two variable, and one of them be public float max look x, and the next one public float min look x. And what are they? They are for limiting the camera look. For example, when we are going to the game, when we click on our camera, when I change it to -40, as you see when I change it, you will see in the sky, and when make it maybe 120, you will see the other direction actually than your player, or you can see the behind of your player, and we don't want that. That's why we want to limit the X rotation from up and down. So, and next variable will be private float, because we don't want to get access it in the inspector. So we will use private here, route x, and it's actually for turn off the camera. So the next variable will be private camera and the cam, because we want to get the access of our camera at the beginning of the game. That's why we used our camera here. The next one will be private rigid body, and that's for moving around. That's why we need to access it to move our player around. Now we are going to make a function to get access of to our camera and widget body that at the beginning of the game. For that we use await function. Here I will say cam is equal to camera dot main to get the access of our camera at the beginning of the game, and then we need to get access to our widget body. So we is equal to, we use the get component widget body. And what does that means? That means that our camera, here we have a camera that main, that is our game, our project should go and find the object with the name camera, find it and put it in the camera. The same like the week. So here we say our widget body should get the component and put it in widget body and then put it in the week game. Now let's show you in the practice. I will save it and going to the game again after it's compiled. Then I click on player. Because it was private, we cannot see it here. So change it to debug. Now, as you see, we have none here. Okay, because they are private, we cannot see them. We cannot give them any resource, any object from here. And I try to give, for example, the widget body from our player. You see, we cannot give that. It's impossible to give it. That's why when I now click start, he will automatically get this component widget body and put it there. And also same for our camera. We go and find the camera with the main here and put it there. Now if I stop it, going back to the game, if we don't want to do that, we could just make both of these two comments. This 2/ means this code here will not get read. Okay, this is just for information. Now if I make this to public, now save it, so I can change it to normal and play. So as you see, now we have the camera on which when we play, we cannot get the access of them. There are still none. And if we want to access it, we need to do it ourselves. So just drag it to there, and also same for the widget body, drag it from there to widget body. See, but because we don't want to do that, that's why we make them private, and with the await function we will try to access it from at the beginning of the game. Now let's back, move the slash here to take it out of from the information and make this both to private again. And we use awake because later we want to use the start function too, and the awake is happening before the start function. So in the next video we are going to work more about our player script. See you in the next video.